What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Gooners Therapy. Dan the Gooner here, aka Positive Dan, and I could not be any more positive. I don't think even the most pessimistic Arsenal fan could wake up today and not be positive about the future of Arsenal Football Club. Of course, the amazing news with EZE. I was making videos only yesterday talking about perhaps getting players like Jamie Vardy on a free contract because I thought that was it. Havertz, he's gonna come back from injury. He's not gonna be out forever. There's reports now, I've just seen that it could only be a few weeks. So perhaps this EZE deal was always going to happen. I'm not going to lie, I was absolutely gutted when it looked like Spurs were going to get him. I tried to play it down but come on, we all knew they were getting a top player. And for Arsenal now, this could be the difference of us winning the Premier League. But before I go into why EZE is going to help us win the Premier League, guys, please, if you can, like and subscribe. Got like 5 new subscribers from the last 2 videos I did, so I'm over the moon with that. Please, guys, we're trying to get to 200. We're a new channel. Going to keep bringing you more. We're going to do lives. There's loads more coming, but please, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It's going to mean the world to us. So thank you very much for everyone who did subscribe and for everyone who's going to subscribe on this video. But anyway, let's get into it. Why EZE could be the difference maker for Arsenal. Now, the main reason why I believe he could be such a key player for us, without stating the obvious, that obviously he can play on the left and he can also play in centre attack in midfield, right? So straight away, this might not be obvious to everyone, but look, I'm sure most of you watching know that he can play on the left and he can play in the centre attack in midfield, which I think is key, is just a top trait to have in today's football. In a modern game today, I think you need to play in multiple positions, and I think this is a trait that Arteta really likes. If you look at Timber, for example, he can play right back, he can play left back, he can even play centre back. Ben White can play right back, can play centre back. Kai Havertz can play centre attack in midfield, can play up front, could even drift out onto the wings if you needed him to do a job. Gabriel Jesus can play anywhere across the front three. These are players that can play in different positions. Declan Rice can play in CDM, he can play in at 8, he can even play going forward. So, it's a trait Arteta likes. It's a trait I like because I remember I used to play LMA back in the day and I'd always go for a Lilian Thuram or Jamie Carragher because you could play him in centre back and left back when you had injuries. But anyway, so that's the first thing, that he can play in multiple positions, and 2 positions where we've got 2 players underperforming in Martinelli and Martin Odegaard and Gabriel Martinelli. So 2 players that are underperforming. So for me, firstly, I'm going to put this team up here. You're going to see this team come up here in the corner. That would be, for me, that would be the starting 11. Bar the fullbacks, I think it's game to game. So like I said, for Manchester United away, I would have gone with Calafiori. Probably would have went Timber, but happy to have Ben White in there all day long as well, because some people forget, have short memories, just how great Ben White was the previous few seasons. So Ben White, I mean, if you're playing a team at home and you want to go for the goals, I think maybe you might be better off, because I do think Ben White gives a bit more going forward than Timber. Very close in it, but I think he's a good link up with Saka. And then obviously Calafiori, I feel like, to be honest, Calafiori would actually be my number 1 left back in this picture that's up on the screen. It's Scott Skelly. I would go with Calafiori. Doesn't mean I don't rate Skelly. He's probably got a higher ceiling than Calafiori, but right now, this moment in time, I'll be choosing Calafiori. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. Like, that just shows the depth. I wouldn't care if it was Skelly or Calafiori, and I wouldn't care if it was Ben White or Timber. There's nothing really in between them. The top 4 fullbacks, and that just shows how strong we are. But yeah, I mean, the main positions would obviously be like the front 3. I think now for me, it has to be EZE on that left, because I believe that as much as Odegaard is underperforming, he's not underperforming as much as Martinelli. So I feel like at first, for my main 11, it would be Martinelli would be the one that would be sacrificed for EZE. It would be EZE on the left, as it shows here. Saka on the right, Gyökeres in the middle. In the midfield, it would definitely be Declan Rice, Supermendy, and then it's the captain, Martin Odegaard. But the beautiful thing about it is, if Odegaard continues to not perform, then you could, and for certain games, you can switch it and put EZE in there and bring Martinelli in, or Trossard, or God willing, we go and get a Rodrigo on loan or something like that. And that would just, I think that would break the internet if that happened. But look, just as the squad as it is, I mean, even Trossard, let's not forget about Trossard. You could even have Trossard on the left and you could have EZE in the middle instead of Odegaard. My point is, it gives us so many options, right? But another thing One of the main things I will say, right, and I'm going to show you up this here, right? EZE, yeah? Let's go on to EZE, right? What I noticed about EZE, right? So the season before last, so not last season, right? The season before last, EZE scored 9 goals from outside the box in all competitions. It was 5 in the Premier League, and it was 4 in other competitions, right? Palace are not in Europe, so that would have been the League Cup or the FA Cup. Phil Foden that same season got Player of the Year, and he scored 5 goals from outside the box. You know, you think of these legends over the years, Tony Yeboah's, Matt Letizier's, Dennis Bergkamp's, you know, Frank Lampard, of course, scored the most goals from outside the box. And you don't see it that much in today's football. And I just feel like Arsenal, especially in these games, right? Let's take you back to last season. Let's take you back to Everton at home, 0-0, low block. And it's just no one. Odegaard used to shoot, right? Well, used to. He had one season where he was letting them off outside the box. He's stopped that now. And if you look here, EZE, right? He scored 8 goals last season. He had 10.5 for XG. And shots on target inside the box was 27. But here, shots on target outside the box, 35. So the man is not scared to shoot. And sometimes when the game's 0-0, you just need a banger. You need a banger. You need someone to come out and just smash it. Say, fuck this. You know, fuck all the intricate passing. Let's just let one off. And EZE has that in his locker. Now, comparing that to Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard only got 3 goals last year, by the way. I know he had his injury, but still, that's really, really poor, right? And his XG was only 4.8. Now, shots on target inside the box, 18. Shots on target outside the box, 15. So EZE has took 20 more shots from outside the box. You know, this is what you want sometimes in certain games. You need that, right? And like I said, not last season, but the season before, 9 goals he scored from outside the box. This is for Crystal Palace, right? So, you know, who are not up against low blocks because teams are more attacking them, right? So I think it really bodes well. I think that's going to be great. But now let's show you Martinelli's as well. So Martinelli actually did get 8 goals last year, guys, right? So, you know, he's still a good player. And I've always said I would not want to get rid of him. I think he could be a good squad player. I think he will keep his head up. I don't think he's one to sulk. Which Trossard, I think, possibly could get a bit sulky. And just because of his age, I would if I was going to get rid of one of them, I'd want to get rid of Trossard over Martinelli. Don't get me wrong. I've seen the rumours of 80 million to Saudi. If you can get 80 million for Martinelli, sorry, mate, I love you, but you've got to go. But I don't think he's the sort of player that would want to go to Saudi. But anyway, so with Martinelli, right, 28 shots inside, shots on target inside the box, only 4 shots outside the box on target, only 4. So he's not really shooting like that. And he hasn't really got a shot on him to do that. So I think that's where EZE comes in. And then if you look here also, dribbles completed, right? 93 dribbles. And he's a winger, an out-and-out winger. And then you've got EZE, right? Dribbles completed. 129. So he's completing way more dribbles than Martinelli as well. And he's not even a winger. Like, some games he does play as a winger, but even when he does, he's not a traditional out-and-out winger. So he's making more dribbles than him as well. So I just think it is a huge upgrade. You know, of late, he's been better than Martin Odegaard as well. So whatever position you play him, I feel like there's going to be a bit of an upgrade. And listen, what is that going to do for you if you've got, if Martin Odegaard's not performing and he knows EZE can come and take his place, let's say he starts off on the left, he knows this guy can come and take my place. That's great. That's what you want. It's competition. You know, look at Man City, right? This is what Arsenal do too long. And I saw it with Wenger, with the likes of Theo Walcott. You know, that's just an example that would have one good game in 3 and we'd keep him. And even me, like positive fans, would be like, I'll give him another chance. But listen, you have to be ruthless in today's game. Look at Man City, Phil Foden, player of the season. Next season wasn't quite doing it, done. Now, Martin Odegaard and Martinelli are both living off. They both, I think, got 15 goals, right? The first season we went for the title, 2022 to 2023. And they're living off that still, right? Don't get me wrong, Odegaard has had good games where he's not scored, but he's still played well. But nowhere near as good as he was that season, right? Obviously, Martinelli has had moments as well, but he's nowhere near that season. So, look, I mean, I just feel like Eze could be the difference maker. He could be the maverick that we need, the guy to go and change a game like that in an instant. Now, I did think he had scored more free kicks than he had. We obviously all saw him score the free kick that, for me, I can't believe that was disallowed against Chelsea. That would have been his fourth free kick. So listen, he's not scored loads of free kicks, but he does have it in his locker. So that's also another thing. And then also I was noticing that he takes the corners as well, where he takes a lot of corners. He's taken, where is it? Crosses completed, hold on. He's also actually hit the woodwork 5 times as well. And I can't seem to find the corners, but it was something like 69. Oh, here it is, 62 court. Oh no, who are we looking at here? We're looking at Martinelli. Hold on, let's go back to Eze. Oh, sorry, it was Eze. Yeah, so he's taken 62 corners as well for Crystal Palace. So, you know, with Arsenal and delivery, you know, that is really going to be another added bonus for us as well. But yeah, I mean, look, 147 appearances, 34 goals, 23 assists. This is playing for Crystal Palace, guys, as well. Let's not forget, right? Once he's in Arsenal with Palace, he's got kind of Mateta, and that's about it. Over the years, they've really sat in, haven't they? You know, so I think the thing about Eze now, I think he'll go to that next level. I think there's another level to see at Eze, and I think we're going to see it at the carpet. We're going to see it at the Emirates. I can just see it now. I'm so buzzing. I'm hoping that he could be involved in some way on Saturday. But if not, imagine that. What a debut to be against Liverpool. You know, that would just be something really, really special. Look, I just think there's not really a weakness in our team now. I'm hoping Kai Havertz isn't a long injury, you know, because then you've got Kai Havertz, you've got Gyökeres. That's 2 top strikers. I don't care what anyone says about Havertz. He's still a good striker. He's still capable of getting 10 to 12 to 15 even goals if he was starting every game. He can come on, he can get a goal. He has clutch moments. The guy has scored a winner in the Champions League final, right? Saka, we all know he's one of the best right wingers in the world. You've got Wanyeri, you've got the young kid Dalman, you've got Madueke that can go out there. On the left, you've now got Eze. Feel so good saying that. Eze. You've got Trossard, who's just signed another contract. You've got Martinelli. You've got Madueke. They can go out there. Then in the middle, you've got Wanyeri. You've got Odegaard. You've got Marino. You've got Declan Rice, you've got Zubimendi. We've just got such a good squad now. And, you know, even at the back, don't get me wrong, I think the main 2 players you wouldn't want to get injured now is Gabriel or Saliba, because them 2 are the bedrocks of the team. And there's going to be a big drop-off no matter what. Mosquera looks good. Key was good. Kind of Fury can come in at left centre-back. Ben White can even come in there, but none of them are quite like Saliba and Gabriel. Them 2 are the key to us winning this Premier League. Keep them fit, even more than Saka, even more than Declan Rice. Honestly, Saliba and Gabriel, keep them 2 fit, and I honestly feel like we'll win this Premier League. And like I said 2 videos ago, I said we could go unbeaten, and I stick by it. We could actually go unbeaten. We could go unbeaten with this strong defence. Obviously, I said we need another attacker if we're going to do it, but now we've got Eze as well, who could chip in with potentially another 10 goals. That is a lot of goals, guys, and they could be decisive goals. Look at him, right? Another thing I'm going to say, big game player, which is players that you want in your team. Semi-final, the FA Cup, done the business, scores, right? Same in the final. He's won Crystal Palace the only ever trophy. And that's another reason why I feel like they may have known Arsenal may come back in, and I feel like they were kind of stalling with Tottenham because, look, I think they've got a good relationship with Eze. He hasn't come out and down tools or done anything like what Isak did. I think, you know, he's just won them the FA Cup. He's been good. He's been loyal. He's 27. And I think Palace have gone right about this, the right way about it. And I think Eze has. Whereas I think Newcastle have gone the wrong way about it, and so have Isak. So, you know, sometimes things don't always have to be like that. Obviously, it's different. I'm saying it as an Arsenal fan. We've just beat him to Tottenham. And I always maintain that if Arsenal are... The only way Tottenham get him is if Arsenal aren't in for him, right? That's the only way Tottenham get a player over Arsenal. It doesn't matter. You can win your little tin pot Europa League. If it was that massive, yeah, if it was that big, surely he'd be going, I want to join the champions of Europe, the Europa League champions. Come on, guys. You know what I mean? There's never going to be a world where someone's picking Tottenham over Arsenal. It's just not going to happen. You know, my good friend, go and watch his stuff, Man United fan, David Speaks Football. He said it best. There's a food chain in football, guys. There is a food chain. and Arsenal were above Tottenham in that food chain. So he was always going to pick Arsenal. I know he's an Arsenal fan growing up, but I think even if he was a Tottenham fan and Arsenal coming, he's choosing Arsenal. Simple as that. But yeah, really, really excited for the Premier League season. I really feel like this does tip us to favourites. If Isak goes to Liverpool, I think they go back to favourites. Obviously, if Rodrigo goes to City, that'll bring them right back into it. But I've always said it, no matter what, I think it's going to be Arsenal, Liverpool and City. I think you're going to see Arsenal and City and Liverpool winning most weeks of the season, and it's going to be a really entertaining title race. I already said that Chelsea wouldn't be in it, and they've almost already proved me right. They couldn't even beat Crystal Palace, and they should have lost, really, because the Eze goal should have stood. But yeah, I mean, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Does Eze make us favourites for the Premier League title now? How does Eze improve us? Who would you start? Would you start Eze on the left, or would you start him in Odegaard's position? Who would you drop? Would it be Martinelli or would it be Odegaard? Let me know. While you're at it, let me know about the fullbacks, because personally I think I would go with, if it was a final, I think I'm going with Calafiori and Timber. If it was a Champions League final, for instance. But again, I think it's going to come down to tactics. I think if they're a bit more of a side with more height and perhaps more physicality, could go for choose Ben White over Timber. But we play Liverpool soon, so I think Timber has to be up against Salah. So I would actually probably put Timber left back, possibly Skelly, but I think Timber's got a bit more tenacity about him and a bit more experience. So I'm not sure quite how fit he is yet, but yeah, that should be interesting. But let me know in the comments. Again, guys, I'm going to say thank you so much for watching. If you've watched till the end, you're absolute diamonds, because it helps the algorithm and all of that. So thank you very much. And please, guys, just subscribe. It's going to mean the absolute world to us. But Eberechi Eze is a Gooner. Come on, you Gooners. We're going to win the Premier League. Again, thanks for watching.